This video is about computing the mean, median, and mode. So a measure of central tendency is a number that is used to represent a central number in a data set. There are three measures of central tendency: mean, median, and mode. So mean, another word for that is average. To get the mean of n numbers is the sum of the numbers divided by n. So you add up all of the numbers and then divide by how many data points you have. The median is the middle number when the numbers are written in least to greatest. If there's an even number of data points, then the two numbers in the middle for the median, you need to take the average of those numbers. The mode then is the number that occurs most frequently. In a data set, you can have a lot of modes or you could have no mode. It just depends on your data set. In number one, we want to find the mean, median, mode of the number set. So before we do it, I want to order the numbers from least to greatest. So I'm going to pause this video and order it in least to greatest. So now that I have all of my numbers listed, I can do my mean, median, and mode. So to get the mean, we want to add up all of those numbers and then divide by how many numbers there are. So when we go to our calculator, together, so 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 9 plus 11 plus 12 plus 15 plus 16 plus 18 plus 19 plus 20. So when I add those all together, I get 157. And we are going to divide by how many numbers we have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we're going to divide that by 15. So 157 divided by 15. And we're going to round that to 2 decimal places. So that would be 10.47. To get our mode, we want to figure out what number is in the middle of our data set. So what we're going to do is we're going to cross off numbers from each side until we get to the middle. So I'm going to cross off 2 and 20, 3 and 19, 4 and 18, 4 and 16, 7 and 15, 8 and 12, 9 and 11. Now I'm left with one number in the middle, and that number is 9, so our median would be 9. To get our mode, we want to look at what number occurs the most. So if we go back to our original data set, since we had crossed out these numbers, in my data set I have 2 4s and I have 2 9s. So both of those numbers repeat more than any of the other numbers. So in this case we're going to have 2 modes. We're going to have 4 and 9 as our modes. So let's look at another example. Find the mean, median, mode of the following data. So again, I'm going to pause the video and order these numbers from least to greatest. So now that I have my numbers from least to greatest, I can complete my problem. So first I want to find the mean, which means I need to add all of these numbers together. So we have 1 plus 3 plus 8 plus 12 plus 14 plus 17 plus 21 plus 24 plus 30 plus 32 plus 34 plus 40 plus 45 plus 200. So that's going to get us 481. If I count my numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There are 14 numbers. So we're going to divide 481 by 14. And when we round, we get 34.36. To get our median, we're going to cross off from each side. So 1 and 200, 3 and 45, 8 and 40, 12 and 34, 14 and 32, 17 and 30. We are left with 2 numbers because it's an even set. So what we have to do then is add those 2 numbers together and divide by 2 to find the middle number. So 21 plus 24 is 45 divided by 2 gets us 22.5. For our mode, if we go back up to the list where we didn't cross anything out, if we notice every number only shows up once, so this case means that we have no mode. The number has to occur more than once to be a mode. So in this case, what did we notice about the median and the mean? So the mean is a lot higher than the median. And the reason is because of that big number, 200 in our set. Okay, so our mean is a lot higher than our median because of the 200 number. So now let's look at the mean, median, mode looking at a table. So in this table, we have the Forbes magazine and it shows the 10 highest paid athletes based on calculations from June 2013. So we have 10 athletes and how much money they make in millions. The nice thing about this table is that it goes from highest to lowest, so it's already in order for us. So to calculate our mean, we are going to add all of those numbers together. So we have 78.1 plus 71.5 plus 61.9 plus 59.8 plus 51 plus 49 plus 48.7 plus 47.2 plus 44 plus 41.3. So that gets us 552.5. And we're going to divide by 10. So that is going to equal 55.23 million. To get our median, we're going to find the middle number. So if we cross off our numbers until we get to the middle, we have to average these two numbers together. So 51 plus 49 divided by 2 would get us 50 million. To calculate the mode, there are no numbers that repeat. So again, in this case, we have no mode. So let's review some of our topics that will be on the quiz. So in number 1, which situation is cheaper for a buyer? Provide your answer mathematically. So option 1 is buying a sweater that's 60% off or buying a sweater that is 50% off and then an additional 10. So if we do option 1, we're going to take 0.60 and multiply by 40. So 0.60 times 40. And that gets us $24. Remember, that's how much you're getting off the sweater. So we have to subtract 40 minus 24, and that's going to equal $16. In option 2, first we're going to multiply by 50% from 40. Well, 50% is just half, so that's $20. So 40 minus 20 equals $20. And then we're going to multiply that by 0.10. So 0.10 times 20 is going to get us $2. So 20 minus 2 is $18. So the option 1 is cheaper by $2. In number 2, a marketing firm polled 1,000 people on their favorite sport brands. So what percentage of people did not choose Nike? Well, if 29 chose Nike, we can do 100 minus 29, and we get 71%. How many people chose Adidas? So 26% out of 100 chose Adidas. That's how many people out of 1,000? So when we cross multiply, we get 100x equals 26 times 100. Oh, sorry, 26 times 1,000, which is 26,000. And when we divide by 100, we get 260 people. In number 6, how many people chose Champion or Under Armour? Well, Under Armour was 19% and Champion was 16%. So if we add 19 plus 16, we get 35%. So we have 35 out of 100 equals x over 1,000. We cross multiply 100x is equal to 35,000. We divide by 100, we get 3,500 people. In D, use the survey to predict the number that would choose Nike if the survey was expanded to 3,000 people. So if Nike is 29% out of 100, we have 29 out of 100 equals x over 3,000. So when we cross multiply 100x equals 29 times 3,000, which is 87,000. When we divide by 100, we get x is 870 people. In E, we want to use the survey to predict how many people would choose Adidas if it was expanded to 3,000. So Adidas was 26%. So we have 26 out of 100 equals x out of 3,000. Cross multiply 100x is equal to 78,000. When we divide by 100, we get 780 people.